My name is Natalie Francel-Stone. I'm a bassoonist originally from Wichita, Kansas. I'm currently a DMA student in bassoon performance and pedagogy at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. My research is focused on beginning bassoonists and the challenges that band directors face in starting young musicians as bassoonists or switching them from another instrument to bassoon. My experience as a beginning bassoonist is not unique in the sense that I spent the first 6 months or so playing bassoon in a storage closet until I had learned enough notes to join the band, and that is a pretty common experience among bassoonists who continue to play in high school and after. Not a lot of bassoonists start with lessons immediately. Some students don't even have lessons available to them because they live too far away from somebody who could teach them. One of the catalysts that really drove me to focus on beginning bassoonists is actually the COVID-19 pandemic. As students have progressed through the pandemic and afterwards, a lot of students have stopped playing their instruments. We're seeing students in college who had the opportunity to switch to bassoon at some point, but because they had online classes, they never really had the opportunity to. And I think that if they had the opportunity to switch to bassoon before they got to high school, they might have been playing bassoon by the time they came to college. Part of my research in helping to alleviate some of the challenges that band directors face has actually been a survey that I've sent out to area band directors across Nebraska, both in urban and rural areas and suburban areas as well. And I want to ask them, what is their experience in teaching bassoon? How do they start bassoonists? Do they switch them from other instruments? How do they, as band directors, approach teaching an instrument that they're probably not very familiar with? In the university music ed system, and this is fairly common, a student will only get a few weeks of education on each instrument, and then they are expected to go out and teach all of the instruments in band. And they do a wonderful job at it, but I feel like they could use more support. And so my research is aimed at alleviating the issues that they have with bassoon by creating a method book that is geared for a band director and a student rather than for a student and a bassoon instructor. There's not a lot of beginning bassoon solo literature for bassoon and piano that's intended for a student to be able to play soloistically. Most of what they have is method book material and their band music. So I've commissioned a piece of music from composer Trevor Frost. He's originally from New Hampshire and he's a conductor, composer, and educator. He created a 3-movement piece called Enchanted Miniatures, and I'm creating a method book that is a practice session by practice session approach to learning how to play the solo that I've commissioned. Some of the challenges that young bassoonists can face are sometimes things that they can't really help, like the size of the instrument. The bassoon is 8 feet long and doubled up on itself, and for a 5th or 6th grader, that can be a little challenging, but there's other things that they can control, such as how they practice, how they approach the music that they're learning in band. Things that we can teach them how to voice the instrument so that they can control their intonation, they can control their tone, and it gives them autonomy and power and control over their own sound at an early age and helps them create music earlier in their music making careers. Bassoons aren't super easily available. There are several schools that actually don't have them. Part of my interest is in creating rental systems or contracts through local music stores to help get instruments into the hands of students who might not have access to them through their own school. I've heard from several band directors that they're looking forward to seeing what kind of method book I can create that's going to help empower them to teach bassoon as well as the students to learn bassoon. My fellow bassoonists have been very helpful in contributing ideas and thoughts on making this as holistic as possible, something that's easily approachable for the students as well as for the band directors who might still be refreshing themselves on how to teach bassoon. Some of the other challenges that I'm hoping to help solve with this is that because band directors don't often have a lot of bassoon playing experience, I have director's cuts in my method book that are little instruction nuggets that help the band director as far as if your student is playing very sharp, what can you do as a band director to help solve that? Perhaps you can adjust the reed, you can adjust their seat strap, you can adjust the way that they're using their air or the shape of their vowels in their mouth that can help make their playing more successful for both them and for the band director. I came to this decision to focus on the method book after I had thought about what I wanted to do with the solo. Initially, commissioning the solo was my first thought, but I wanted to do something more with it. I wanted to be able to put it out there and put it into the hands of beginning bassoonists in their first 1 to 2 years of playing. And I think the best way to do that is to help teach them how to play this solo, give them an opportunity to learn on their own and to learn with their band directors in a way that's empowering for both of them. There's actually not a lot of literature for beginning bassoonists in their first 1 to 2 years of playing. Frequently, band directors will have their students start on a different instrument, like saxophone or clarinet, and then switch them to bassoon in high school. But then what happens is their peers have been playing for 3 or 4 years already, and now they're a beginning bassoonist and they're a beginning musician again, and sometimes it can be a little discouraging. So it's important to me that students are able to start gaining rhythmic and musical literacy as young as possible, early in their instrumental careers, along with their peers.